Hello everybody and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John and tonight I've got another tag video for you. And this is a new kind of summer tag. Now I'm not sure who the original creator is of this tag. I was tagged by Joel Swagman and I will leave a link to his channel in the description. So there are 6 questions here. So let's go ahead and get underway. Number 1 question, and by the way, I've actually subtitled this tag for this my particular channel. I have actually subtitled it the horror edition. So yeah, anyway. Alright, so number 1, start by recommending a book from the country you are in now, as close as you can find to the place you are now. For that, I'm in California. I'm actually in Bakersfield, California. And for that one, I'm going to choose one that is not necessarily set in California, but California does play a big part in it, because that is where they are, their final destination, so to speak. And I don't mean like the movies. Anyway, I'm talking about The Hunger by Alma Katsu. And this is about the Donner Party. And this is kind of a slow burn of a book, but it's actually really good too. But I personally think you have to be patient with it. For the payoff, because it's, like I said, it's actually really a slow burn of a book. Evil is invisible and it is everywhere. That is the only way to explain the series of misfortunes that have plagued the wagon train known as the Donner Party. Depleted rations, bitter quarrels, and the mysterious death of a little boy have driven the isolated travelers to the brink of madness. Though they dream of what awaits them in the West, long-buried secrets begin to emerge, and dissent among them escalates to the point of murder and chaos. As members of the group begin to disappear, the survivors start to wonder if there really is something disturbing and hungry waiting for them in the mountains, and whether the evil that is unfolded around them may have in fact been growing within them all along. Yeah, that is Alma Katsu. That is The Hunger. Right. Okay, next up. Number 2, recommend a book from a different county. That's the way this was on the thing. This is the way I wrote it down. Or area of the country. So I'm going to go for a different area of the country. And I'm going all the way across to New York. And for that one, I am choosing Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin. All right. And just in case you don't know what Rosemary's Baby is about, I will read the quick synopsis for you. She is a housewife, young, healthy, blissfully happy. He is an actor, charismatic and ambitious. The spacious, sun-filled apartment on Manhattan's Upper West Side is their dream home, a dream that turns into an unspeakable nightmare. Enter the chilling world of Ira Levin, where terror is as near as your new neighbors, and where evil wears the most innocent face of all. You know what? That didn't actually tell you anything about what this book is about. Anyway, it's about this woman who basically she gives birth to the devil's kid, and the events leading up to it. That's what the book is. So I'm not giving any spoilers away because, like I said, it's been out long enough that if you don't know what the book is about, then there's going to be spoilers. Yeah, she gives birth to the devil's kid. That's what she does. Number 3, recommend a book that reminds you of summers when you were young. Okay, now this one here, seeing as these are horror novels, it's not like I had a horror movie summer going on, but one of the things I used to do was with my family was we would go to the lake, and we would go to Lake Murray in Columbia, South Carolina, or I think it's located near Columbia. I don't think it's in Columbia. I'm not sure, but I think it's close to it, and we'd have a great time, The lake was awesome. We'd go swimming in it. My dad would go fishing in it, or he'd take me fishing and stuff. So for something like that, I picked Richard Lehman's The Lake. Okay. And I've actually not read this one. But I was sitting there trying to think, what did I like? What were summers like for me? And I thought, well, we used to go to the lake. So this is what I chose. This is it. The lake. All right, here we go. I'll read the synopsis. Like Mother, Lee is a beautiful girl, 18 years old, headstrong and rebellious. All she wants from her summer by the lake is a chance to relax and have some fun. And that handsome boy she just met certainly looks like fun. But her summer fling will lead to terror. That night in the old abandoned house will haunt her nightmares for the rest of her life. Like Daughter, 18 years later, Lee's daughter, Deanna, doesn't know much about what happened to her mother all those years ago, and she doesn't particularly care. She too is looking for fun. What she finds instead is a shadowy figure out for blood and his own twisted kind of fun. Killing Dina's boyfriend is just the beginning. Before he's done, both mother and daughter will be plunged into a whirlpool of fear and madness from which death is the only escape. And I pronounced her name the first time I said Deanna. Then I looked at the spelling. I said, that looks more like Dina. Yeah, so that's really cool. Me, when I was a young kid, I'd see like a pretty girl or whatever. I mean, because she's talking about, seeing this cute boy. I'd see a pretty girl, man. I was horrible. I was the worst at asking girls out. First time I asked a girl out, I think she thought I was having a seizure when I was asking her out because I was just so nervous. And we got it off so well. We got along so well in school and stuff. And I just thought, wow, this girl is so nice and everything. I would really like to just ask her out. And so this is the first girl I ever asked out. And I walked up to her and I said, Harry? And she looks at me like I'm having a seizure. And she was like, yeah? And I said, you go out with me? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I've already got a boyfriend. So disappointment there. But yeah, that was my first experience asking a girl out. I was horrible at it. I was very bad. I've gotten better. I'm married now, so something must have gone right. Anyway. Number 4, recommend a book from a country you visited before. Now, this is another one I'm kind of cheating on. The only place I have been outside of the United States is the Bahamas. I went on one of those little Bahama cruises and stuff and had a lot of fun. Went swimming in the ocean. Good Lord, the water is so clear. I loved it. And so I can't think of any horror novels that are set in the Bahamas that I've read. So I'm going to cheat and go with the tropics. And I'm going with The Ruins. And The Ruins is about these friends that are all vacationing in this area and stuff, and they come upon this place with these killer vines. Again, this is one of those. It's a long. It's actually not a long synopsis here. Eerie, terrifying, unputdownable. Is that a word? Scott Smith's first novel since his best-selling A Simple Plan, simply the best suspense novel of this year. Hell of the 1990s, said Stephen King. The Ruins follows 2 American couples just out of college enjoying a pleasant, lazy beach holiday together in Mexico as, on an impulse, they go off with newfound friends in search of one of their group, the young German who, in pursuit of a girl, has headed for the remote Mayan digs, site of a fabled archaeological dig. This is what happens from the moment when the searchers, moving into the wild interior, begin to suspect that there is an insidious, horrific other among them. And that is The Ruins. The only thing about The Ruins, I like the book, don't get me wrong, but I swear to God, I was cheering for the plants the entire time. The only decent character in the entire book was the German guy. The rest of them were so whiny and so, woe is me, or me, and all that. It's like, oh, please, plants, eat these people. Eat them now. Do it, please. I'll bring you plant food. You'll love me. I'll be your god or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. The Ruins. That was my pick for that one. Number 5, recommend a book from a country you'd like to visit next. I've always been curious about visiting the UK. I don't know why. I think it's because, people's just, I don't know, the people seem more polite there. Maybe I'm wrong, I mean, maybe I'll get there and instead of, oh, hello, cheerio, whatever, it'd be like, hey, bugger off, But anyway, that was a horrible English UK accent. I apologize for that. I'm not trying to offend anybody, okay? But for that one, I chose Bernard Taylor, Sweetheart, Sweetheart. This is a hell of a ghost story. Oh my gosh, if you've not read this book, please read this book. Awesome book. Okay? Okay. All right. Deep in the English countryside, surrounded by rose bushes, trees, and meadows, Gerard's Hill Cottage promised comfort and peace to all who entered. But beneath its placid surface seethed an aura of murder, madness, and betrayal. One by one, the inhabitants of the cottage died unimaginably gruesome deaths, the victims of an unholy force. Those who survived became the helpless prisoners of this ghastly evil, and their only hope for escape was unraveling the mystery behind the malevolent power that threatened to destroy them. Yeah, like I said, this is a fantastic book. Alex over at Hey Little Thrifter, she's the one that got me turned on to Bernard Taylor. Thank you, Alex, because you picked a great author to enjoy, and he's got some really awesome books out. And this is, I think, it's personally his best book. That's personally in my opinion. I haven't read everything by him, but this is my favorite of his. And finally, number 6, recommend a book from the furthest away place you can find. For that one, the furthest away place I can think of is the Arctic or the Antarctic. So for that one, I chose one I read a long time ago. In fact, I don't even think I didn't review it on this channel. In fact, I don't think I was actually doing YouTube when I read this book. But I'm talking about Stranded. And I think I was watching Adam Cesar's channel. And this is one of the books that he picked. And he kind of compared it, I think he compared it to The Thing. And I think it's because of the Arctic or Antarctic setting. I can't remember which. I'm going to say it's Arctic, because the name of the ship is the Arctic Promise. Badly battered by a punishing storm on their way to resupply an oil supply drilling platform, the crew of the Arctic Promise find themselves sailing blindly without functioning navigation or communications equipment. Lost and unable to call for help, they push ahead into unfamiliar waters as an ominously thickening fog envelops them. One by one, the crew fall prey. Where to go? To a mysterious illness, ailing from debilitating headaches and nosebleeds. The weakening sailors begin to see shadowy figures haunting the ship. Deckhand Noah Cabot is the only person unaffected by the strange disease plaguing the others on board, which does little to ease their growing dislike of him. Dismissing Noah's warnings of the worsening conditions he's observed, the ship's captain, his antagonistic father-in-law, William Brewster, presses on until the open sea breezes into solid ice and they can go no farther. Brewster orders the men overboard in an attempt to break the ship free by hand. As they struggle with sledgehammers and pickaxes against the ice crushing the ship, the fog clears, revealing a faint shape in the distance. Desperate and in ever-declining health, they have no choice but to try to reach on foot what they hope is their destination. Despite their distrust of him, Noah finds himself leading the few able-bodied deckhands on a perilous journey across the ice and into an unclear future where they must fight for their lives against the elements, the ghost of the past, and ultimately themselves. That's Stranded by Bracken McLeod. So that's the one that I picked for a book that is the furthest away that I can think of, and that's it. So that's going to do it for the new kind of summer tag. Like I said, this is the horror edition of it. I'm not going to tag anybody. If you feel like doing this tag, then by all means, please do this tag, because it actually was a lot of fun. And so that's going to do it. Thank you for watching, and good night.